And welcome back to the Shaded Pixels podcast, the podcast where we go into gaming topics, break them down to their shadings and pixels, topic by topic. I am back. I am Little Big Ham, your boy Shawn Richards, the Heartbreak Kid, as they used to call me. I think they still call me that. Do you guys still call me that? I don't know.
No, we stopped that. That was a last year thing.
Yeah, back in 2018, leaves that behind. And coming back nice and refreshed is BJ Brown, Bunny 3000. Say hello to everybody.
No.
Okay. He's being a rebel. He started his rebel year, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, revolution, baby.
With him is Esteban Cuevas.
I think we have to call you now the Heartbreak Adolescent.
Nice. I like that.
Heartbreak teenager.
No, adolescent. He hasn't graduated to teenager yet.
The Heartbreak preteen?
Preteen, adolescent, same thing.
Nice.
It's somewhere right around those things.
Yeah.
So that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we took a break to celebrate the holidays. It's been a couple of weeks. We're coming back. We're nice. And we're ready to reflect on 2018. I don't know about you guys, but 2018 was a odd fucking year for me, guys.
It was an odd year period.
Yeah, it was interesting. We can put it that way.
Yeah.
And you know what? The government might be shut down, but we're here for you guys. So today we're
not shut down. We're still working. Up and running.
We're still working, just like the government workers.
That's right, for free.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. Gotta love it.
We're coming in hot. It's 2019. We don't give a fudge.
We are jaded. We're jaded like we're shaded and pixelated.
All that stuff.
I like that.
All right. So we're bringing up our top three and bringing in our bottom three. Getting all of 2018 behind us because we got to look forward to 2019 because 2019 is going to be one bitching year. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to make that promise. I'm going to promise you right now, 2019 bitching.
Bitching year.
Heartbreak preaching.
Okay.
Right there.
Heartbreak preaching. There you go. There you go.
Heard it here first, people.
All right, BJ. What do you have as one of our tops for 2018?
Oh, one of my tops? I would have to say I'll start with Battlefield 5 since that's probably the most recent and I've spent the least time with of my list. I was pleasantly surprised when I played Battlefield 5. I was kind of worried because Battlefield 1 was good, but there were some parts of the game, like the weapon variety and the weapon progression of some of the kits, you know, how they use the kind of in-game boxes and in-game money for you to purchase certain stuff. Didn't make sense, didn't have any effect on the game, wasn't interesting, even though like the core of the game was fun, was great, it played well, it was exciting, you know, it was still a good Battlefield game, good maps, all that stuff. So when Battlefield 5 dropped, I was worried because it seemed like they had a few gimmicks in there or new features that I wasn't sure were going to work. But the fortifications thing that they kind of added to it really, really, really add to like the strategy and the tactics of the game. They really changed up a lot of the different stuff that each one of the classes can do in terms of the tools. The weapon variety for each one of the classes is great. The maps are awesome. The action's awesome. The vehicles are great. It's just all around probably one of my top 3 Battlefield games of all time.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely a fantastic iteration of Battlefield for Battlefield lovers. I love it.
That's interesting because even to this day, well, that seems kind of shallow to say because it's only been like a month and a half since it came out, but the game has changed a bit since then because more content has been added, like promised, and I keep hearing conflicting things about that game. I've heard like you raving about it, and I've heard some other people raving at it online as well. I've heard a lot of people say that it's not really worth it. I know that it did not sell particularly well, and then there's also some people in the middle that said that in the beginning it wasn't very good, but now that some of the content has finally been added, it's more worth it. So I'm interested in it, but I think I'm going to wait for a noticeable price drop before I drop in, because I
think a lot of people are. My thing is for people that are into the format of Battlefield in terms of how it plays, its core, and what the whole Battlefield franchise is about, this is a good Battlefield. I mean, really the only thing that is different that I would say is a con of this Battlefield is the way you spot people. It's very difficult. You can spot areas. You can't spot people unless you're the recon. And for some people, that's a deal breaker. For me, that just means you have to work better with the rest of your squad, and you have to make certain that you have a sniper that uses his scope, because because it actually makes the scope tool worth it now. And it makes it so that the flare isn't nerfed so much, because the radius for it in Battlefield 1 was massive. So all you needed was somebody with a support guy that would give you more flares, and you could sit there and shoot flares all over the map, and you could basically see everything on the map. Almost. Not everything, but for a good radius.
Good chunk of it.
Yeah, so they changed it, so they made that part of the game more difficult, which means the other team, it's easier for them to sneak, easier for them to flank, easier for them to hide, which makes it more difficult. And I like that challenge. Some people don't like that challenge, and they just like, oh, I want to be able to see everything. I need UAV. I need da-da-da-da. It makes you work for it. You have to work for your kills a bit more in Battlefield 5. And I like that change. It, after getting into the feel of it, it really, really adds to the strategy in terms of how your squads have to be put together. Everybody can't be a sniper, and you can't wreck shop with one whole squad as a sniping squad. It makes you really work for it.
Maybe,
and I like that.
Maybe that's what it is, though, of wanting more information versus less information for the challenge, because like some of the people,
I think for a lot of people that's a deal breaker, because
I've been like checking up on some people who are like hardcore like Battlefield fans, and they're like, we don't like this. So I don't think it's a matter of a fan base rather than just what they expected, because there's probably different types of Battlefield fans within the Battlefield community. So
yeah, that's with all the communities. But
yeah, so
I mean,
maybe it's not a matter of being a hardcore fan, but just what type of fan you are.
Well, that's my thing, because you can say that there are people that are diehard Battlefield fans, but have they been Battlefield fans since PC days, or are they only Battlefield fans since console days?
PC.
There's a big difference.
PC.
PC.
PC. As a matter of fact, they're still PC. Don't like it? Still PC. As a matter of fact, they never switched to console. They still play it on PC.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd have to see those people, because in my opinion, this game is so much the core of Battlefield that I'm very, very surprised that it hasn't done better than it has.
Yeah, whenever the Battlefield 5 beta came out and I played it, I don't know if it's still up on YouTube or if I took it down, but basically I was not enjoying it. I enjoyed Battlefield 1. I enjoyed the multiplayer in it, but whenever I went into Battlefield 5, it just didn't feel fun. Like, I get what you're trying to say, BJ, and I think what you're saying is true. Like, you have to work harder to get those kills, and that is for a different type of first-person shooter, man. And I understand that. But here, in Battlefield 5, it just doesn't feel right. plus with a lot of the content that was kind of gated off until later. I hate to rag on Esteban's kind of like favorite franchise, but it almost felt like Street Fighter V.
Oh,
Like
but no, Street Fighter is my favorite franchise, fighting game franchise. I do not defend Street Fighter V.
Yeah,
I do not defend that because that's bullshit. You're absolutely right.
and whenever you have something like that, like I get it, they need more time to work on the content, but they need to get something out during holiday. They need to get something in players' hands, but it ended up
They had a lot of content there. They had a lot of modes available. There was like one mode that they didn't have available, which was basically just something where you get a reward system for going through different challenges, which in my opinion doesn't necessarily add a whole lot to it in terms of, it wasn't ready at the beginning, when it first launched, but all of their modes for the most part were available. I think the only one that wasn't was Grand Operations.
Weren't they missing like a training mode?
Missing a training? I don't know. I don't play training modes when I play Battlefield, but
here's the thing about it.
Really?
In most players' minds, whenever you look at something, if you hear, we have content going down a little bit later, we promise, but you're getting a lot of content up front, a lot of people think of is, the game's unfinished.
Well, it also does.
Every game does that. That's my thing. Every game does that.
It doesn't help
I don't see how when they've got all of their traditional modes available, except for Grand Operations, which was available within a month of it dropping. I don't see that as, I'm not getting my value. They didn't finish the game. I see that as, okay, just like every other game that has DLC or updates or whatever, they're adding to it. And plus, this will be the first Battlefield where you don't have to pay for all the extra content that comes later on down the line. So they're going to be supporting this for a year, and you don't have to pay for that extra content. So in my mind, I'm willing to wait for it because the offering when they first dropped Battlefield was what you typically get in a Battlefield game. The Grand Operations is new as of Battlefield 1 for the most part. Mm-hmm. So like all the other previous Battlefield games didn't even have that. So, in my mind, I'm like, okay, great. You're adding something else to it later. I'll take it. You know what I mean?
I will say that it doesn't help when you like boot up the game and you look at the menu and then there's parts of it grayed out, like it says coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help. Like that Street Fighter V also did that. They had a challenges thing that you can do.
They
and then
did,
that was
but
grayed
they
out,
also made you pay for a lot of different characters. I really don't think that's a great comparison, though.
Well,
because again, you're not paying
characters.
for any of that stuff.
It's not just the characters.
And it came with it, and again, it came within a month of it dropping. It's not like it came like 3 or 6 months later. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's what happened in Street Fighter in its story mode. But the challenges mode was just a month later. But that was on there and grayed out, and we had to wait and everything. I can't look. I will say this. I can't say this. I can't say because I haven't played it, but I do know from checking what other people have said and seen, and I've like seen the game being played. I don't know. I see it as being kind of all over the place. But hey, man, if you're loving it, I'm not taking that away from you.
That's my thing. Battlefield as a game, the action is all over the place, and that's what I love about it. Just like every.
No, I mean like the response.
The response. What do you mean response?
Well, like there's people like you who love it. There's other people who hate it, and then there's even some people who are like, "Well, I hated it before, but now that all the content's there, now I think it's kind of worth it." There's opinions.
The response is it's one of the. I mean, any Battlefield game since Battlefield 3, for the most part, people have hated when it first came out because they had issues, and then later on, as more stuff got added and they tweaked stuff, it got better. And that's been true.
About one.
No, I heard people that didn't like one because of the weapons. There weren't enough variety of the weapons. They didn't like the weapons. And once you started buying weapons and stuff like that, they were like, most of the weapons that you could get, the very first weapons you get are better than the ones that you buy later on. So people got bored with it after a while. It was like after the first month or so, people were getting bored with it because they were like, there's not much to what with the extra stuff that was given aside from, they didn't like the vehicles and da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So I heard, I've heard negatives about all of the Battlefield games. That you're going to hear negatives about all the Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of those things.
Okay.
But yeah, I love it. It's
Hey,
I'm all over it.
You love it. That's what matters.
Yeah. That's what matters.
All right, Esteban.
What about you guys?
Yeah. All right. We're doing 3, right?
Yeah. I figured we could do one of our tops and then one of our bottoms, and then just alternate from there.
Okay. Wait. So should BJ do a bottom then, or?
No, we do. All three of us go around. We do one of our top topics.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go around and do one of our bottom topics.
Okay, and alternate that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Top 3. I guess in the third place, even though it's weird because I kind of have some misgivings about this game still. I would say the game that I'm comfortable putting at 3 is Soul Calibur 6. It's the fighting game that was new and I put the most time into. I want to emphasize the one that was new. Honestly, because I put more time into Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5, unfortunately. But then again, that was Soul Calibur 6 was at the end of the year, so in a way, of course. But I never got my hands on like Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which that was on purpose, but still.
Yeah.
Soul
Calibur 6. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, it's weird. I'm convinced that I must be kind of weird.
Calibur. I wouldn't say that. Picky, maybe. Not weird.
It wouldn't be the first time it's been said. Soul Calibur 6 is a great game. It has a great roster. It's got fun mechanics. It feels better, especially than the past 2 Soul Calibur games, especially 5 and Lost Swords. If anybody remembers that one, it was a free-to-play game back when they were first trying to do free-to-play, and oh my god, that did not work.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed that one.
And it has some new mechanics to help newbies get in, and the new mechanics are fine, but
strained fine. The new mechanics are fine.
Some of the new mechanics are like, for example, it's got a new gauge meter type system, and you have new special super moves in the game. The past 2 Soul Caliburs have been trying to put this in and it didn't work. It finally works here. They finally figured out a way to put it in and it works great. They also have a critical break kind of system, so you can break through people's armor, and that feels good. They changed guard impacting to be only one of them instead of having to choose between high and low, and that feels fine. The one feature I don't like is their what's it called? I can't remember, but it's kind of like an Injustice 2 where you like clash and then you have to like spend meter to see who will win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have something like that, and you don't have to spend meter. You just have to. It's just a rock paper scissors. Like A beats B, B beats K, K beats A.
Yeah, you just press it, and then whoever gets the rock,
essentially wins. And holy crap, can you abuse the hell out of that thing? That's the one feature out of the new casual things. I'm like, I don't know. It is to the point that a lot of people online are just like, you know what? I'm not using it. I'm just not using it. Having said all of that, though, even though I think it's a good game, and I will put it at number 3 because even now I'm still playing it, something about the game feels off to me. For someone who's been playing Soul Calibur since it was Soul Blade, literally the very first one back on the PlayStation, something is off. It doesn't quite feel as polished as Soul Calibur 1. It doesn't quite feel as inviting as Soul Calibur 2. But at the same time, it's not as janky as Soul Calibur 4 was, and it's not as stupid as Soul Calibur 5 was. I really dislike Soul Calibur 5.
Oh
Can't
man,
tell. Can't tell at all.
I haven't played it.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
It's weird. For me, it's just kind of somewhere in the middle. Which means that you have a game that's sort of middling, which is hard because then it's like, well, it's not bad, it's not amazing, even though if I take my bias away from it, it is great.
That's how I felt about Call of Duty World War. What was that last one? World War II.
World War II.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't fantastic, but it was enough that I would return to it and play it on a regular basis.
You know,
so I get what you're saying.
It's kind of like like on paper it's fantastic. Like a lot of fighting games, one of the problems is that they're sort of like losing single player content. Mm-hmm. Not only does Soul Calibur 6 have arcade mode, but it has not one but 2 different single player campaigns. 2. And the arcade mode. It also has like these little vignette things that like Street Fighter V had, which I don't care too much for, but they're even more fleshed out than Street Fighter V was. The same thing that Tekken 7 had, which is another game by these same people, Namco Bandai, and it's more fleshed out than that one was, so it's an improvement there as well. But then on the other hand, it's like, okay, the online is shoddy. Like it plays fine sometimes, and then at other times it's all stuttery, and there's input lag, and there's no fun to play. And then also the modes online are bare bones. You either have ranked or you have lobbies, and that's it. No tournaments. Like you can't have a tournament in there. There's no way. Now, to be fair, this mode has been dead in fighting games for almost 5 years now, but I'm still surprised as to why they won't do it. And it's coin out mode, where it's like you basically, winner continues on, and it's supposed to be kind of like basically. It's supposed to replicate like playing in an arcade.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They just took that out. I don't know why. No fighting game now has that. There is no like viewing features. Before you used to be able to like be in a lobby and view the other people's fights and everything like that. Like it's just for a game that they touted a lot about their online mode. As a matter of fact, the beta was just online. There's nothing to show for online. You have 2 modes, either ranked, which is just random fights that you can fight with people, or lobbies. And that's it. There's not even like a set private match, so you can like play with your friend like in the other city or wherever. You have to go into a lobby and then close it off before anybody comes in, so you can just play against each other.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's weird. It's like it's got all this content, but it also doesn't, and then it's got all these features, but it's also kind of messing with it. If you're not somebody like me who hasn't been playing the series since the beginning, you're probably looking at this and thinking it's great because your experience is probably Soul Calibur 2 and 4, and that's it. But if you have more information, then
I have not played this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've actually played any Soul Calibur games. But I do remember like that sweet about 2 or 3 weeks right when the game launched, because people were trying to make every single character in the character creator.
That's still cool.
Think of. Like it was like more fully fledged than like at least I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And you got so many people like trying to like make their own characters in it, and it's kind of like that first month of Pokemon Go, where it's just like everyone was talking about it, and
everybody on like
after before cynicism dragged everybody back down. But that's kind of what I get. That's kind of how I remember Soul Calibur 6. People having fun, making as many characters as they have, and then sharing that content online.
Yeah.
People being like, "Oh, that's cool. Here, let me try to make this." And people were happy. People were excited for it. And it's basically got me to think, instead of, "Oh, Soul Calibur, it's the one with the girl with the big tits, right?"
Yep.
And more made me think of, "Oh,
no, I think you're thinking of Dead or Alive 6.
Yeah. That's well, no. They changed it. They specifically got rid of the big tits for 6 because they wanted to be taken seriously.
That's Dead or Alive. That's the only thing they're known for.
I know it's weird.
I will say this about the character creation stuff. This is the best version of it that's been in the series. It's been in it since the 3rd game, so this is the 4th time they've done it. To be perfectly honest, the changes that they made are actually kind of minimal. The thing I feel like is the most important is the way that you can manipulate patterns. That's the biggest thing that's been added to it, but that's really only the major difference in there. Now, that being said, it was never terrible to begin with, so...
I think it's because everyone, including you, hated Soul Calibur 5 so much that they just never bothered with that game after maybe an hour or two.
So like Soul Calibur 4 came out in 2008, and it 2008 just went by. So for a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, I haven't played a Soul Calibur game in 10 years."
Yeah.
So
pretty much. I forgot all the combos for Killick and Ivy and what was the other guy I used to use? Astaroth.
Yeah.
I forgot all those combos, and I was just like, I'm going to get scraped if I try to start again. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, if you try with Soul Calibur 6, those combos are probably either easier to do or gone.
Gone?
That's one of the things. In order for...
I mean, that's not horrible because that means,
more streamlined.
You have to learn something different, which I don't mind. It's just fighting games now are so far beyond my skill level that I probably enjoy them for like a couple of weeks. And then, then I just don't play them anymore because then I get to a level where I either get scraped or the person quits on me because I won one match.
Yeah. well, remember, like I told you, like for example, that rock paper scissors thing that they implemented. The way you do it is it's mapped to a button. So that button is a button that used to be used for like other stuff. So those moves that used to be mapped to that button, they either moved them to another button or they got rid of it. So that's why some of your combos are gone.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Again, that's kind of like the
kind of trade off that you get for that. Yeah.
All right. Well, Shawn, do you want to go? Do you think you could do it?
I got something quick. I got something quick for you guys.
Okay.
Since you brought up the topic of fighting games, I figured I'd throw probably the one I put more hours into, honestly, and it's rather recent. It's Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Of course.
Honestly, what? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I really enjoyed that. You want to talk about beefy story modes?
Oh, God.
Not only does that have classic mode, but it has probably the biggest and most annoying story mode that I could think of.
Holy cow.
With the spirits mode, which, I mean, they did do a lot of stuff different with it. They, have a humongous roster. They have a lot of the modes back. They have tournament mode. They have one of my favorite modes, Smashdown, where you play a character, that character is gone until the end of Smashdown, which I really like. Me and my roommates will go in there, we'll go to Smashdown, everybody picks a random character, you get what you get. Because that was actually something we used to do back in Wii U. I would basically get a random number generator and just like pick random characters for people, but we didn't want to pick the same one every time. pick one that someone else just picked. So this way you could actually like do what we were doing on paper. And that's something that really kind of spoke to me personally. And I've played a bit of the arcade mode. I'm not good at the game. I suck at fighting games. I do. I even suck at Smash, but even then I still can go out there, get some of my mains and really just go to town. It's something I've enjoyed immensely, and both the single player, online is shoddy.
But
But
I've heard stories.
Smash Online has never been good. Trust me, this is going to be coming back later. But when you're sitting down and playing with friends, I will say this about Nintendo: as much shit as I give them, they are the kings of couch co-op and couch multiplayer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Smash Brothers Ultimate. It is what I wanted in a Smash game.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Smash Ultimate, if I'm correct, co-developed by Namco Bandai.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, right. Smash Brothers Ultimate netcode, terrible. Soul Calibur 6 netcode, shoddy. Tekken 7, decent. Pokken Tournament, which they also made, fucking incredible. What the hell is going on over there?
Well, let me ask you this. How many characters are available in Tekken 7?
Actually, now it's probably 40. Over 40.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Soul Calibur 6.
Soul Calibur 6 is like 22.
Yeah, it's like half.
Yeah, it's actually kind of small. That's another gripe about that game. It's a little small.
Because I'm thinking because Smash Ultimate has a shit ton of characters.
Yeah.
With more being added on, including a fucking Piranha Plant, because Masahiro Sakurai loves to troll us.
Yeah.
Praise be to his name. But I was thinking Pokken Tournament, I think, has the least characters. I think they only have maybe 18 or 20.
Yeah. Yeah,
Pokemon
but no,
Tournament,
that's
yeah.
not it. That's not it. The thing about Pokken Tournament, and one thing that makes it so incredible is, one, not only is the connection rock solid, but they do some sort of thing with the algorithm where it starts looking for a match for you as soon as your current match is about to end. So there's no break in between. You just keep going and going and going and going.
So weird.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not in a lobby. This is just like random quick matches. It just does it like that. It's like, what the hell did you do with them that you can't do with these other games?
They have time, effort, love.
Pokemon money, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pokemon money. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Smash Brothers is the killer app for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, you think they'd get the freaking netcode right?
Yeah, well, I think I have a sneaking suspicion. I'll get to that. But yeah, that is my thoughts on that number 3, I guess.
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I'm sure it's an incredible game. I haven't played it, but I've never been disappointed by a Smash Brothers game. Not even really Brawl. It took time for me to be like, oh, Brawl's actually a little weaker than I thought.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a break. But when we get back, we're going to go from one of the high points to our low points. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. welcome back. I'm glad you stuck with us. And if you didn't, how are you listening to this? I don't understand you. We were just talking about how we can't shut up because we've been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry. Our bad. But
Yeah, our bad. We're talking on a podcast, an audio podcast.
I know, right? We'll stop talking. Don't worry.
all right. So now going from the top to the bottom, BJ, what do you got for us?
Okay, so you guys know me. I am a really, 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 really big Dynasty Warriors fan, and this hurt my soul. Dynasty Warriors 9.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah, me
This
too.
game, I was scared about when I first saw and heard about what they were trying to do, which was they were trying to bring the whole open world feature that every game supposedly needs nowadays to Dynasty Warriors. And it seemed like that makes sense instead of you having going from loading screen to battle, that you'd actually be able to travel between battles, bring your own, I kind of thought, oh, this is like the next evolution of Dynasty Warriors. This is how it really should be, right? I was wrong. Really, really, really wrong. The whole concept just, it really stripped down all the combos that you could do with each of the different characters. Building a character and building them up and leveling them up. The RPG aspects of building a general just weren't satisfying. The missions felt like fetch quests. The battles, it felt like all you had to do was one combo in order to kill like the main general, and then that was basically it. So there wasn't really any difficulty. There just really wasn't much of a point. It just was hollow. It was a very hollow experience. And I think just about every other Dynasty Warriors fan, I think pretty much is, I don't think there's been mixed reviews for this. For the most part, I've heard everybody that is a Dynasty Warriors fan, they were just completely disappointed with this effort.
Yeah, like I've heard that, like, even with the Dynasty Warrior games that usually don't perform well because usually it's core audience that likes them. Everyone else sees them as being repetitive. I kind of see them as just being repetitive. But
they're very repetitive.
but that bothers most people. But yeah, I even heard that even for fans who like the repetitive stuff and everything like that, just found like nothing rewarding from this at all.
At all. Nothing at all.
And they did something with the DLC where it's just like selling you back stuff that you already had before in the original games and previously.
Yeah, it's bad.
And Dynasty Warriors is a franchise that they really bleed. It like kind of owns that type of gameplay that they've been known for. Mm-hmm. You have Dragon Quest getting their own variation of it. You have Hyrule Warriors, where they brought it to the Legend of Zelda, and that game is highly praised. And with them switching the formula like this, and then stripping other things away to kind of like say, oh, it's open world, look how much this is. It's a disappointment. It's a disappointment to a lot of people.
I will say this. I was completely thrilled. I think the developer Omega Force is the name, right? Something like that.
I think so.
I am very, very pleased and happy that they aren't resting on their laurels and that they're actually trying to take some risk and they're trying to evolve the game. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, just like as Esteban said, most of these games are all repetitive. For the most part, the added features are very minuscule and they kind of rest on their laurels. And if they change anything, it's maybe they add a few generals or something like that, right? Yeah. So I give them credit in they actually are trying to evolve the franchise rather than just do what they've done for the past 10 plus years. But unfortunately, it's not there yet. I would have been more happy if they took this iteration and waited like another year to keep building on it and make it something where it was actually worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So kudos, but sorry you didn't hit it.
All right, Esteban, what do you got for us?
My number 3 is I didn't play it for that long, but I mean, there's a reason.
Yeah.
But as a result, I don't really have a whole lot to say. It's pretty obvious. Fallout 76. I mean, it's not done. It's clearly not done. It's so broken. It's so barren of things to do and content and of personality that I mean, it's not a done game. It's not finished. This game should have never gone gold. It should have never been released. Hell, maybe even conceptually, it should have been worked on more. Because, I mean, it's a game of fetch quests. And talking to no other human beings because everyone's dead. Unless you find people online to play with and it's a survival game, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care because you need something interesting for you to be able to have fun with somebody else. Unless you just start screwing around, in which case anything can be fun. You can be exploiting the bugs and then that would be fun, but that's not worth $60.
See, this is my thing. Now, mind you, I have not played Fallout 76, but in my core, I knew that Bethesda was not going to get this right because we have one example already of them taking a franchise and making a mediocre MMO out of it.
Sure.
That was ZeniMax, though. That wasn't the same team that actually makes the Elder Scrolls.
True, it's not the same team, but same franchise under the same umbrella. Mm-hmm. So basically everything that they're shooting for, they're basically, in my mind, I knew that Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, the magic of those games isn't in multiplayer. It just isn't. You know, it's in the huge open world, your ability to be able to explore, your ability to not have to go down one path, but to have many paths, and all of that content and everything being at your disposal for one person. Mm-hmm. So that you can just live and just go crazy in that world. To take all of that content and to throw other annoying human beings that run around and kill you at the first chance that they get, in my mind, destroys the magic. And then when I first started hearing people talk about on the beta that there wasn't anything to do, you know, there weren't NPCs to talk to. So I'm like, okay, how do you do any kind of story? How do you do any kind of progression? What does it end up being? It ends up being an open world game with no storyline, with no exploration aside from you looking for crap. No. And I got enough looking for crap in Fallout 4. You know what I mean? Getting garbage from everywhere. And I even still halfway enjoyed that game. So I was like, just knowing the format of what 76 was going to be, I didn't have high hopes for, which is why I didn't even bother to play it.
I know that the Elder Scrolls Online was a mess when it came out. My understanding is since then it's been fixed. So I've
heard that it's pretty decent now, but even with it being decent now, I don't think I don't think people rave about it. I think I
thought they would have taken the lessons learned from fixing that and would have applied that to Fallout 76. But
no, it'll take time. Yeah, it'll take time. Fallout 76 will reach the level that Elder Scrolls is.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think so. I think content-wise, they'll keep. I mean, because that's what MMOs are. Mm-hmm. Even Destiny, that's what they did with Destiny. When you got something like that, they're going to constantly build and add content to and push into it different things. It's just that those first few months, woo.
Yeah, but
You know what I
see,
mean?
here's the thing that makes me a bit skeptical. You could be absolutely right. You know, they could have a No Man's Sky type fix, but here's the thing.
That's almost on my list. Don't go there.
Here's the thing, though. Technically, Fallout 76 isn't really much of an RPG. They took out a lot of the RPG stuff for like just kind of like the play cards that give you boosts when you need them.
Mm-hmm.
They took out a lot of that stuff. So, Fallout 76 is a lot more of a survival game along the lines of like a DayZ or something like that. So, if you start looking at it like that instead of like an MMO where it's got, you know, RPG stuff that you can build on, and start looking at it as a survival game, which typically stayed the same, that makes me more skeptical. I could be wrong. Again, I was wrong about this being right. You know, good. So, that makes me doubt it, though. But, I mean, at this point, I don't care anymore. I don't care. And I'm moving on to something else. It could be good somewhere else with some other players. I just don't care anymore.
This hurts. This, I mean it hurts. It hurts because when this
Hurts
game,
as in you like it, or hurts as in you agree?
it hurts in that I agree.
Oh,
Because I have to tell myself that I agree with it.
Mm.
Here's the thing about it. One of my roommates absolutely loves Fallout. It's his favorite franchise. And whenever he got hyped for Fallout 76, so was I. I was in the hype. I was so excited to play this.
Mm-hmm.
I fell out of Fallout 4, but that was for different reasons on it. And Fallout 76, I was going to sit down, play this game with all my friends, and we were going to have so much fun with it. Here's the thing about it. Whenever I first started playing it, I got frustrated at the survival mechanics. They said it was supposed to emulate survival mode. You have to eat and drink to make sure all that kind of stuff was there. And it frustrated me because I didn't want to have to babysit my character in order to have fun like I used to have in Fallout 4. And some people like that. Some people enjoy and relish in that type of gameplay style, but I didn't.
well, yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, I pressed on. Here's the thing that got me. Because I had fun with this game. I'm not going to say that this game was no fun whatsoever, because I did have fun. But in order for me to have fun, I had to break the game. There is a glitch in there that I was shown where you could basically get infinite carrying capacity. And it was a glitch, and I abused it. And whenever I abused it, hell, I had some of the most fun I had in Fallout. And really, I even had fun by myself. I'll even say that. I had fun by myself with taking the workshops and building my own base and all that kind of stuff. I enjoyed it. But in order for me to actually enjoy the game, I had to break it.
Mm.
It tells you a lot when two of the biggest announcements this year was that a fan-made mod of Fallout New Vegas, Fallout New California, got released, and a lot of people got that for free and enjoyed an alternate to Fallout 76 for single-player content. And then you had, I think it's the Outer Winds, the Outer Limits, which is the new Obsidian game that said from the makers of the original Fallout, that felt like a big slap in the face to Bethesda and Fallout 76, saying, don't worry, we know Fallout 76 is a broken mess of a fucking game, but we got your back. And that's why it makes me mad, because I was hyped for this. I was going along with everything. But in order for me to enjoy it, I had to break it.
I am so happy that I decided to rent the game instead of buy it at launch. And the only reason I did that is because the beta happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what Fallout 76 is.
Yeah.
It's a broken, garbled mess.
I saw it coming.
You were right. You're absolutely right, BJ.
Yeah. And I'm sad that I saw it coming because I honestly, and I have to say, I didn't fall in love with Fallout until Fallout 3. Mm-hmm. I didn't put too much time into the first one. I didn't play Fallout Tactics that much. It was just kind of there. But Fallout 3 grabbed me. I loved it. And in Fallout 4, I liked it and then fell out of love with it because of all of the, it was like, it kind of almost felt like they were adding the whole survival game portion to it. All the different recipes and being able to make all these different kinds of foods and then having to manage all these different group, communities and get all this trash just so you could build stuff. And then also you needed the trash in order to maintain and build stuff for yourself. And I was like, that's a lot of, it was like, that's a little bit of the survival, foraging mechanic that they kind of threw in there. And I was like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, the hearing them talk about the mechanics of 76, I was like, damn it, man, they're going full-fledged survival with this thing.
Yeah.
And now, and I have to tip my hat to all you survival game lovers out there. That takes some serious dedication. I am too scatterbrained and too impatient for that. I played Ark when it first came out. Ark is a freaking fantastic, fun game for like a couple of days. And then all of a sudden that game is just seriously, it's not broken, but it's one of those games where Uber dude that's level 100 with Battle Cat and Grimlock and everything at his disposal come by and step upon your little thatch hut that you just finished making because you just bought the game. You know what I mean? That's basically what Ark ends up boiling down to. And it's survival is just a very, very hard kind of theme genre to get into unless you dedicate yourself only and specifically to that game. Conan, Exiles, all those games, they're not bad. There's a lot in there. It's just that, and I 100% think Fallout 76 can reach that. It's just going to take them time. They have to add, because Conan was that way. Conan was garbled. It was a garbled mess when they first released it. There was very little content. The combat in Conan was horrible. And now all of a sudden Conan is picking up. People are liking it. The combat's better. There's more content. There's more things to do and fight and collect and stuff. I think Fallout 76 will get there. But like I said, first few months, it's going to be a mess. It's just going to be like, ugh. You know what I mean? I think it'll get there. Don't fall out of love with it yet, Shawn. If that's your thing, if you really think,
I get what you
don't
said.
fall out. Just give it time. Give it time. I think it'll get there.
Would you guys believe that even though I've tried the other Fallout games, 3, New Vegas, I never played either one of them for very long, and Fallout 76 was going to be my first Fallout game that I tried to really sit down and play?
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that didn't happen.
Just like with every game, there's some themes just aren't for some people. Yeah. So if it doesn't grab you, just the theme, then sometimes it's kind of hard. Because my sister, she doesn't like or want to play Skyrim. Mm-hmm. She doesn't like or want to play Fallout. But what was the thing? But she loves Far Cry.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. Those are somewhat similar games. Yeah, kind of. But for some reason, Far Cry grabs her.
It wasn't that I wasn't necessarily into it. It's just that I just didn't have the time. It was such a time sink. And
that's
technically,
a big thing.
I was still playing Oblivion. Because
really?
That game is huge as well. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And then, actually, I go all the way back to Morrowind. That was actually the first game of that kind that I played. I played that on the original Xbox.
I love Morrowind.
So, but yeah.
Morrowind was awesome.
But yeah, that's my second pick. Third? We're on third pick. Third pick.
Yeah, we're on number 3 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for mine,
Yeah.
I think we're on 2. This is our second pick.
No, this is
our
3
first.
bad.
Yeah, first pick of the bad.
Oh, first pick of the yeah. First pick of the bad. That's right.
Yeah.
So you guys got phones, right?
I do.
So obviously, hardcore gamers or even casual gamers should all have phones and use them when they're playing games, right?
No, but
Maybe.
I think I
I
know
was
where you're
going
with
one
this.
way. I'm going another. My number 3 is Nintendo Switch's fucking online system. I have to fucking bitch about this because $20 a month, $20 a year. Sorry, you think, oh, that's just $20. I got a 20 in my pocket. I can give it out to you. Do not give Nintendo the time of fucking day for this piece of shit. They don't have an online chat system. You have to plug in a special thing for your phone so that you can use your phone for the actual voice chat, because God forbid they add in actual voice chat in their stupid goddamn game console that you have to take with you when you go outside. It's like it's a nice portable gaming console, but no, you can't use it to play online unless you got to hook your phone up to it, hook your headset up to it, and then make sure your phone's hooked up to everything else. And oh my god, it's so frustrating. And even then, as we were talking with Smash Brothers Ultimate, they can't even get that right. So yeah, PlayStation Network got their shit kind of figured out before they started charging for things. Yeah, you had the crash of 2011, but they didn't charge for PlayStation Plus and playing online then. Xbox Live got their shit right. They knew what they were doing, and they know what they're doing. Nintendo doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They think they're giving things away as a nice little freebies, but instead it's to overcompensate for the fact that they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and giving them $20 or even $1 is too much for online service. Nintendo, get your shit right. Sorry, I'm done.
I would say that this is like something that you would see 15 years ago, but 15 years ago we weren't carrying phones around, so that's not right. And I would say that we all saw this coming, but that doesn't make it any less infuriating because we still have to put up with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, what can I say? Just what I'm always saying on this podcast. Fuck Nintendo.
This wouldn't make me
Nintendo.
This wouldn't make me as mad if it wasn't for the fact that the Switch is supposed to be a handheld system. If it wasn't for the fact that they tout the Switch, they tout it as, oh, you can take it anywhere that you go. You can put the Switch in your backpack, pull it out, and play it on the train or whatever. But the fact that if you wanted to play online, say you're at a graduation or something, I don't know, or say you just want to take your Switch to a Starbucks or something and then play online from there, you have to connect your phone to it. You have to do all this kind of stuff in order just to enjoy it. Whenever you have stuff like, I don't know, say the PlayStation Vita could do online play with voice chat, but yet the Switch can't get it right.
I think my phone can do that.
Your phone can do that by itself.
Yeah.
The fact that Nintendo has to piggyback off your phone's technology.
Right? I mean, it's a phone, so obviously you can communicate with people with it. And it runs the game, so.
Well, mind you, and I've said this for a long time, especially for all those Sony fanboys and stuff out there, networking is hard as shiznit. Okay? A lot of people have taken Xbox Live for granted for what it was able to do when it first came out and since it's been out. That shiznit is hard to do and keep running smoothly given everything that is expected to do. So for Nintendo to not know how to do it and still be working on it is no surprise. It's taken Sony a long time to figure out what to do so they can get their shit to run as smooth as Microsoft. So considering Nintendo is as popular as it is and has had the hardware experience that it has had, they've never had a focus on online gameplay. Just like Shawn was talking about, their core thing was we like local gameplay. who goes online? That's just not something, you don't need to do that. You and your friends can just walk up to each other and connect. So it's no surprise that their first attempt at trying to do an online service is garbaggio.
I mean, this isn't their first attempt.
This is one of their first attempts to have an online service that you pay for that has extra stuff connected to it
that's the difference. You pay for it.
That you pay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is their first attempt at doing a premium online service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise to me that this is, this is something that I don't think they're going to get this right, at least for another decade, if that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that shit is hard to do and maintain because it costs a crap ton, a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And hardware. It just does. And Nintendo's not going to spend that kind of money on that. They just aren't. You know what they're about. They're about their profit, and they're about doing their own little stuff. So they're going to always make it harder for their users to do this because they just aren't going to invest that kind of money in it.
Don't pay for it.
Just hard. Yeah, it's just hard as shit to do.
Yeah. The PlayStation 2 was the first Sony console to try to do online gameplay. And even then, it needed to have a wired connection. PlayStation 3 is where they really hammered down on it, tried to get it to work. And then with PlayStation 4, they felt confident in putting behind the paywall the ability to play online. Xbox with Xbox Live, then you have Microsoft money right behind it. Started doing this with the Xbox.
Money and hardware.
The money and the hardware.
And the
servers, all that stuff.
Remember, at that time, Sony, I know they're not doing it as good as they used to, but Sony did have money, but it was money from entertainment hardware, not...
Right, they didn't have their own network.
Infrastructure and all that stuff. They didn't know that.
Yeah, they didn't have any of that stuff. They farmed all that stuff out. That's why it kept going down all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to bring up is that they had the time to do this because they started doing online play with what we talked about with Brawl. And they had that with the Wii. And then they had it with the Wii U.
Technically, you could take the GameCube online. Phantasy Star Online was online on the GameCube. Yeah. So they started way back on the GameCube, technically.
Yeah. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. This is their third attempt.
Okay.
This right. And if they have the cojones, if they have the balls to charge for the service, then I expect it to be good.
Yeah. And it's also different when you start talking about mobile. When you start going mobile rather than you just being at home on your internet, your hard connection, that's a little different also.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's infuriating.
I can appreciate that doing this networking thing is difficult, but at the end of the day, you're selling a product that doesn't work, a service that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're absolutely right, and you're making people pay for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're selling the service that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't do that.
Oh, you can. It's just whether someone's stupid enough to actually pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want when it comes to business. It's just whether or not it gets the reviews that get people to actually pay for it. That's the key.
Yeah, actually, that's fair. You can do it. It's just whether or not you get enough people pissed off that you get caught with the fact that it's essentially a scam, and they start reporting to the Better Business Bureau and start filing lawsuits and all that kind of stuff because corporations have too much power right now.
Ding, ding.
All right. I believe it's time for another quick break.
Okay.
All right. And when we come back, we will go on to another highlight of 2018. This is going to be a long podcast.
We gotta hurry up
right now.
We'll make it quick.
Be this long always, but we've got a lot of catch up on. So see you on the flip side. All right, so guys, thank you for sticking with us. We're going to try to get through these a little bit quicker. We know that you have a limited amount of time on your hands, but we appreciate you coming back, listening to our
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful, succulent voices.
No, you
Yes.
going to stay here? You in our house now, boy.
Yes.
Hey, you can only say that if you live in the South, so I can say
To
it.
that
I live
everywhere.
in the South, Southern California.
But you're not in Deliverance South.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Thankfully.
buddy.
I would take credit for that joke, but that was actually on SNL.
Oh man.
All right, BJ, what you got for us? We're gonna do a best and a worst
A
together.
best and a worst together. Okay, this will be pretty easy. For my second best of, it's pretty easy for me. BattleTech. Those that know me know why. I forget the name of the developer, but they essentially took the core of how BattleTech the board game played as a turn-based kind of strategy game, and they added all the great RPG elements to it, building your mechs and collecting mechs and going on different things. Fantastic, good story mode, all that stuff. But for my worst of, I kind of have to put, and a part of me feels bad about this, but I kind of have to put Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on that list.
Wow, really?
Wow.
Yes. And the only reason why I do this, people are going to hate me for this. The only reason why is I was never a big zombies fan. So the zombie mode for Call of Duty was never a big thing for me. Even though from what I've seen and what I've tried to play of the zombie modes, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot more to it. It's a lot deeper than it used to be. It just doesn't pull me in. The regular Black Ops 4, again, it's not bad. It just felt like Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Period. Everything from the maps to the characters you play as, to the equipment that you use and buy, it just felt like I was playing Black Ops 3. It really did. There wasn't, I'm sure there's a few nuances in terms of how it's different and stuff like that, but it just didn't feel like a new game to me. It felt like a DLC add-on to Black Ops 3 that just all of a sudden had a little extra right next to the 3. You know what I mean? So
Hastily drawn because that's not what a Roman numeral 4 is.
right. Yeah. So there you go. There's my number 2 best and worst.
Yeah. What about the blackout mode? Did you mess with that at all? Because that's the mode everyone's talking about.
Oh, the Battle Royale. I hate
Yeah.
Battle Royale, so that does nothing for me.
Okay.
I think this goes into the whole Call of Duty Battlefield thing that we talked about a few episodes ago, which you can check on youtube.com or bit.ly/ShayPixels. You can find that somewhere around me.
Yeah.
You're right, I think.
It's somewhere around me. I can't tell my right now what's on this thing. But as much as I said I didn't like Battlefield 5's beta, I have Black Ops 4. I enjoy a lot of Black Ops 4. I love the gameplay of it. I am not good at it, but I do like the multiplayer aspect of it. I do not like the fact that they took out the single player for it, but I do enjoy the blackout mode because I do like Battle Royale. It's a genre I actually do enjoy quite a bit. And I do like the zombies mode. Me and my roommates love to go together and just figure out all the Easter eggs and everything through there, and love to play through the different maps. And
That is a great co-op mode. For co-op,
Nice.
that is awesome.
it's nice
Do you
and very
what is it called? Quads or something?
yeah, quads. So it is really nice, and I enjoy it. But I understand, it's that Call of Duty Battlefield type of thing. It's two different type of gameplay styles, and this one feels better for me. and it's something that I quite enjoy. But I've not played Black Ops 3. I've not played any really other Call of Duty game competitively. So I think that also goes to show why I enjoy this iteration.
It's sort of like what I had said before in that previous episode that we were talking about, bit.ly/shaded I see a lot of the Call of Duties just kind of being the same thing over and over again, with the exception of the single player missing. To me, this seems like yet another game, Call of Duty game, except with Battle Royale put in and single player taken out. So to me, it's no better and no different than any of the other ones. But that's just me.
BJ, thank you so much. Esteban, what do you got for us?
Okay, well, my best and worst kind of correlate with each other because I'm going to cheat a little bit. And my best of is 2 different compilations of games. The Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection and the Sega Genesis Classics Collection. Now, these weren't perfect collections. They have their issues. But I just wanted to be able to play all these old games in a easy way on my PlayStation 4, and it did that for me. I got all the Street Fighters, and with the exception of Super Turbo, unfortunately, because they have the bunked United States version where the AI is way too freaking hard, no matter what difficulty you pick. But all the other ones are just fine. And I love the Street Fighter series. I know all these games. They all play just like they're supposed to. I would have liked for some of the upgrades like Alpha 3 Upper and stuff like that to be included, but overall, I got everything I wanted from this, and it's just Street Fighter goodness. And then the Sega Genesis collection is also more Sega Genesis goodness. It's got all these games. All of them play well. There's a couple that have a couple of audio issues, like Phantasy Star, which I played through over the summer, which was unfortunate. But it's got, your typical save states and all that stuff. And some of them do have different versions of them, so you can play like the European version or like the Brazilian version of certain games. And it's got your Sonics and your Shining Force, which I always forget how much fun that series is. It's so good. And your Vectormans and Toe Jam and Earl, which is great. And just all these games. And now it's just whenever I feel like playing them, whenever I maybe want to do a Let's Play, they'll just be right there, nice and easy for me to play and just enjoy. Because I just love the Sega Genesis, and it's a nice, easy way to be able to play those games. Now, for my worst, again, I'm going to cheat here as well, because technically this is 2 collections as well. And it pains me to say this, but in the worst, the 2 collections are the Mega Man X Legacy Collections 1 and 2.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I heard people talk about that too.
There was so much goddamn input lag on these games. What the fuck were they thinking? The games are unplayable. They're literally unplayable. You press the button and then half a second later it comes out. You can't play a game like Mega Man X 1 through anything like that. The only game that doesn't have any input lag whatsoever, it seems, is X7, which is like the worst one. The 3D one.
I heard that X6 was the worst one.
Either or. Either or. But X7 is the one with the least amount of input lag. That's the one that's actually playable. Why? Why would you make the awkward 3D one unplayable?
And I also, based off of what I've been seeing on this, they tried to make the first 6 games HD by kind of melding together the pixels.
Yeah, they have this
look all nice. Instead, it makes it look like shit.
Yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, a lot of collections do that. Oddly enough, the Street Fighter and Sega Genesis collections do not have that problem. As a matter of fact, I should mention this since you brought it up. The Sega Genesis has some of the best cleaning up of the pixels I've ever seen. Like with certain filters on, it looks like an HD remake. Some of those games, so it's incredible. But Mega Man X collection,
Not there.
It's a mess if you put it on, and then even if you go to the normal pixels, the way that they rendered the games onto the screen, it's technically in the wrong aspect ratio, even if you keep it as a square. Because they didn't, because the original games are technically an 8:7, not 4:3, but they didn't do that. They just kept everything in 4:3, so everything is stretched out no matter what way you choose.
Bad.
And I played the PlayStation 4 version. I've heard that the PC version is actually a little bit better, but going by what I played, it doesn't feel good, and I hate that, especially because Mega Man X1, like I said, is like one of the best games ever made. I put it like at number 2 on my list way back when we started on episode 1. That was number 2, but I said from a technical standpoint, that is arguably the best game ever made. Because there's nothing wrong with it. They put something wrong with it. They put input lag.
That's a big wrong.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Also, and here's the weird thing, I say technically it's 2 collections. The extras in the game are the same in both discs. So, like, the extras in the first game has, like, collection stuff about, like, X6 and X7 that's in the second disc. And vice versa. This was never meant to be 2 collections. I think they're just like, screw it, we can make more money this way.
Yeah, because they had the regular Mega Man collection that had all of them.
Except for X7 and X8, because at that time, they were brand new games. But yes.
No, I'm talking about, like, the regular Mega Man collection. Like, they had 3 compilations this year. They had the Mega Man collection, which had all the original Mega Man games.
That was last year.
Last year, my bad. But last year, yeah, they had all of the regular ones. And then they have...
excuse me, that was the year before that. So it was 2016 or 2017.
Yeah.
And the Mega Man X Legacy Collection is 2018.
Yeah. I think I got screwed up because Mega Man 11 released this year.
Yeah, that came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, this collection is... It would have been fine, except that there's input lag. Really, honestly, the extra things is dumb and all that stuff, but like there's a different version of the game, and there's an easy mode for people who need it. And that's great and everything, but they literally made all the games unplayable by putting in all this input lag. That's literally the one thing. It's like, oh, here's your game, except it doesn't work right.
Wah, wah.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So mine, I actually kind of got to correlate with each other.
Okay.
And actually is a good callback to one of our previous episodes.
Okay.
So the first one that I want to bring up, my second best, is one that it is also a compilation, but it's also a remastered compilation. It's a Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Oh.
Where they took the first 3 Spyro games and they made it look good. And I mean good. Like, they have additional cutscenes. They built it from the ground up, and it feels amazing. Like, there's maybe a couple of things that I don't really appreciate, but it is something that I like going back and playing the original games and playing the new ones. I actually really enjoyed. I really like it. Even the skateboarding in Spyro 3, which is oddly something that I really like, they've nailed it perfectly. I mean, there's a couple of things in it, but like the no subtitles in the cutscenes.
Yeah,
that's something that kind of pissed me off. But
I
still enjoyed it. I loved it. They did an amazing, fantastic job. Toys for Bob did an impeccable job doing this, and I trust them with making another classic style Spyro game, because they were also the ones that did Skylanders, and after Skylanders, I don't trust them as much. And we also got an announcement of Crash Team Racing, which, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I will say this is gonna be a lot quicker now because that was my number 1.
Well, You know, it was also a compilation that stunk.
Uh-oh.
Mostly because Sony doesn't know what the fuck they're doing when they try to chase a trend.
Uh-oh.
Remember the PlayStation 1 Classic that we
Oh.
predicted in one of our podcasts?
Had to bring that up, didn't
And we were just like, yeah, so hyped about it. Here's what we're going to get. They make it $100. They put 20 games on it that maybe a quarter, that was actually good. Not any of the classics that they do own the IPs to.
Mm-hmm.
They add in basically a bunch of different ROMs in there, but they just hide it behind the menu because people have cracked that code. And they use an emulator that was open source. They basically just ripped it open. They used PSX. I think that's the name of the emulator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically a free emulator that you can download right now
For free.
For free, that you can download a shit ton of ROMs and put it into a box like this.
Yeah. Oh, you got that.
If you have all the
Hey,
games,
did you
just
actually-
to back up, right? Just to back up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a backup. I got all my.
No,
my
no,
whole-
actually-
Got all the games back there. You see them on my wall.
No, actually, this is a Christmas present. So I didn't make this. I'm not the one breaking the law. I'm just reaping the rewards.
Right.
No, it actually was a Christmas gift. So
did you actually get the PlayStation Classic?
no,
Oh,
this is a 3D printed housing.
no, I know that. I mean, like the actual real one though.
No, I'm not paying $100 for it.
Yeah.
And even now
Crap,
that's
then can
discounted,
I change my vote to that?
now that's been discounted to $60.
Yeah, it's
Even
$60
then-
now already.
It's not worth it. And the fact that, I don't think the SNES Classic was that much.
It was 80.
I think it was 80, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had a better UI with it. It had better games with it. Games that, yeah. I mean, it had better games with it because Nintendo owns those IP. But because Sony was honestly kind of stupid when they initially got there, I guess we're all showing off our retro consoles.
Not quite.
That's classic.
It's and look, you have Star Fox 2, an unreleased game. You have Donkey Kong Country. You have all those classic games.
By the way, this
Play
thing is freaking
classic.
awesome. I got it for Christmas.
See, Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about it. Like, you have this Spiral Reignited trilogy that you can tell that there was care and support taken into, something that I'm willing to buy, willing to put my money into, because I can see the effort and I can enjoy the effort. I 100%ed every single one of those games because I enjoyed them.
So did I.
But whenever I see something like the PlayStation Classic, and I see that this is nothing but PlayStation chasing a trend. They see how the NES Classic and the SNES Classic is done, and they're like, well, we can probably do a PlayStation Classic, throw around a couple of old games that are not worth $1 and throw it on there. Maybe get a couple of them that are worth maybe like $5 or $10, and then throw it out there, ship it out with a crappy, thing. Oh, we don't need to develop our own emulation system. We can just take this open source one from online. It feels dirty. And
It's a cash grab. It's so disappointing because I was so excited for it.
we made an entire podcast episode on it.
Yeah,
That
but
tells
I
you
mean,
how
before it was
God.
announced, but it was like,
Yeah.
we want a classic system. What's the number one
We were
classic system we want?
postulating. We were like, oh yeah, this is what we'd want on our such and such class.
Yeah, we wanted something like this,
Yeah,
but not like this.
No.
it was terrible. Yeah, it's so disappointing. I didn't know that we could do stuff that we didn't buy. So I mean, that's my number one too. Then if we could do that, then PlayStation 1 is the PlayStation Classic is my number one too. 'Cause-
I haven't done my number one yet. Dang it.
Well, I got another game that I got to talk about, but he also said my number one already. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is my number one best game of the year. So I don't know what we're doing now. So
I haven't done my number ones yet, so I'll do my number ones, okay? Because I can get through these quick.
Okay.
So I'll do my worst of number one first, and then I'll do my best of.
okay.
So my worst of was NBA Live 19.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I was actually hoping that Live was going to be a real competitor this year for 2K because, mind you, 2K honestly would have and should have been on this list if I had a longer best of list, because 2K is without a doubt one of the greatest basketball sims ever made. Even with all of the money grabbing microtransactions, there is no other basketball game that's ever been made that has the real life simulation difficulty and smoothness and playability and players and all that other kind of stuff that 2K has.
Hold on to that thought, but keep going.
With that said, Live 19. Now, mind you, I didn't buy the full-fledged game. I basically played what was a good portion of the full-fledged game when they had it out for demo, because technically they were like, this is the full game, just play it until a certain time frame. And I was happy that the controls were really good, but I was extremely disappointed that the AI in that game for all the other players felt like it was the same for every player that was on the court. So certain players that should play in a certain way or take certain shots or do, like their tendencies in real life didn't matter. They were just so-and-so guy that dunks a lot, or so-and-so guy that shoots a lot, or so-and-so guy that plays defense a lot. That's it. It was like those three AI cards were applied to every single AI player that wasn't a real player in that game. So it was like, unless you were playing multiplayer online with NBA Live, you really weren't getting a fun experience. And when you compare that offering to what 2K has in the like ridiculous amount of modes and features and teams and stuff that 2K has, I had a hard time even looking at the $20 or $10 price for NBA Live 19 this year. And I think I have seen it sold for like $10 at some point, and that's even too much. So yeah, NBA Live 19, sorry, you're still not there. Keep working at it, buddy. But my best of, and Esteban's going to hate me for this, but I have to put this up there because I spent a ton of time on this game, and I really did enjoy the time I had with it. Monster Hunter World.
I don't hate you for that. I mean, it didn't grab me, but that's fine.
Yeah. I just remember you saying that it was not your thing.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World. I had honestly never played a Monster Hunter game before. I had played Koei's version of Monster Hunter, which I can't remember what the name of it was, and it was god awful. I could understand what they were getting or trying to do. But once I played Monster Hunter World, the second I jumped into that and actually got the hang of using a certain weapon and wanted to use that particular weapon, it was like my mind just went boom. Oh my gosh, I can make this. Oh, I got to kill one of those things. Oh, I got to go. Dude, I was all over that game. And I had fun playing with people online. I had fun playing for a little while with one of my friends who had the game. Once he understood what you were supposed to be going towards in terms of making or hunting and how to hunt, learning all of that stuff and what you can and should do, didn't take me very long because I was fearful that being a noob at Monster Hunter, that was going to be something that I was not going to get. But they made it so that someone that had never played a Monster Hunter game can learn relatively quickly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to it, and they brought me up to speed really quickly. And it showed the sales for that game were through the roof.
Yeah.
So I absolutely loved Monster Hunter World. Yeah. That's my number one.
I mentioned this before. I played Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U first. That was my first Monster Hunter because people were going crazy over that. A smaller group, but still going crazy.
Yeah.
I played it and I was like, this is boring. Things take too long and it seems sort of fetch questy. Got into Monster Hunter World, played that. It's better. I get why it's better because they streamlined a whole bunch of things. But I never got for example, like a squad to like play with. So I was mostly going through that solo, so that's why it never really grabbed me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go through that solo because some of the stuff that's really, really hard to take down, if you don't have somebody to go in there with you, then it can make some of those monsters like not necessarily impossible to take down, but like frustratingly hard to take down or take too long to take down, that kind of thing. So I can understand.
Yeah, that's why I don't think I got it. Maybe if someone would be like, hey, we got a crew, we'll help you get more into the game, then maybe I'll give it another shot. But otherwise, no.
I have no opinion on Monster Hunter.
Okay.
Because I never played that game. I have no input on any type of sports game because I don't really play those games. So you're out of luck for me on opinions on this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Okay, it's my turn, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna do worst because it actually ties into something that BJ was talking about. I mean, technically, I guess worst is PlayStation Classic, but that's not what I planned on. So this is an extra number one. Okay. I'm just gonna say it. My worst one is NBA 2K Playgrounds 2.
Oh, I'm with you on that one.
Okay,
I'm with you. That's on my I'm there.
Okay, I need to speak to you about this. Okay.
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 Go.
Okay, I rent this fucking game. I put it into my PlayStation 4. It boots up. The first thing after going through the freaking press X to start the game or whatever the fuck.
Cards.
It brings up fucking cards.
Yes.
Okay, and I open a virtual trading card pack, and it gives me like 7 characters.
Oh my god!
And then like some other stuff. I think were quartz or maybe like a stat point or something.
Don't even remember.
And then you go to like do fucking anything like exhibition, season, just anything basic, and those whatever you got in that card pack is all you can play.
That's it.
Is it like that in 2K now?
What, in the actual 2K game?
Yeah.
Depends on the mode.
Can I?
The My Team portion of it, that's the way My Team is, because you're building and they
can I go
cards.
Can I go in exhibition and just play whatever the fuck team versus whatever the
hell
fuck
yeah.
team? Okay, what the hell is this shit? Because you can't do that in NBA 2K Playgrounds 2.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It drove me crazy. I completely forgot about that game.
Where the fuck is the game? Where is the game? I have like 8 things to choose from, and that includes my opponents.
Not only that, you have to build those players.
Yeah, they're all terrible.
Yes, you have to build them. They aren't even great when you first get them. So even if you did get a Michael Jordan card, your Michael Jordan would even suck when you first get him.
Yeah, he's like Michael Jordan when he was like in Little League or whatever the fuck. You get you get Michael Jordan, the baseball player playing in basketball.
There you
go. What the fuck is this game? There's nothing for you to do.
Yeah. It's awful. It's awful. Yes.
It's so bad that I went into season mode and I picked a team that I only had 1 character for, so they had to pity give me another players just so I could go through the fucking mode. It is the most barren back-ass thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Oh my! It was so I was like, what?
It's infuriating, actually.
If I had bought this game, it would have been like, what the fuck did I even buy?
Honestly, I think I might have gotten it for review, and I just didn't even review it because I hated it so much when I first got it. Oh man, that reminds me. I might have to actually do that review.
Like, oh shit, by the way, I skimped on my responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, oh crap. Damn. Yeah. There's
Okay.
my review. I hated it.
Just send them this video.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, there you go.
Just clip out that one little bit and then
Yeah.
just review.
Yeah,
there
there
you
you go.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
expect my cut. Yeah, so yeah, that's my number one, kind of, PlayStation Classic notwithstanding. But yeah,
I agree.
yeah. What the
Yeah.
And my number one and greatest, I already mentioned it, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I played through all three of those games, 100% of them, and platinumed them in about 2 weeks. Because, I mean, I like the Spyro games from when I was a kid, but these are so much better than those. They improved on them in almost every single way. The only exceptions is from my time playing with them, maybe there's been patches, because again, I played it within the first 2 weeks that it came out.
Yeah.
As you keep going through the games, they get more and more glitchy. So I ran into like more and more bugs as I went. Like Spyro 1 played okay, Spyro 2 was a little and then Spyro 3, I had like going through like the skateboarding race, and they didn't even count my laps.
I didn't experience that, but then again, it might have been patched in.
It's probably patched by now.
It's probably patched by now, but yeah, I remember like, I'm clipping that. Fuck you. I'm gonna have proof. Because this is some bullshit. But I will also say though that that also kind of compounds things, just because out of the three, Spyro 3 is my least favorite, because I don't like all the gimmicks that game has. So that didn't make things better. I'm like, oh, this friggin' skateboard, I hate the skateboard. And then it's like,
just
oh, you gotta
reminds
go
me
through
I
this
hate
race, and oh, we're not gonna count your laps now, and you're gonna go through the wall now. I'm like, God, frickin'.
Back to number one.
Yeah, but that notwithstanding, the rest of the game, they played great. They played fantastically. Spyro controls so much better now than he did back then. The fan out of the flame is also better. You had something to say, Sean?
There is just one tiny, I do mean tiny gripe I have with it. Why didn't you add the hover to Spyro 1?
Oh, that's true.
Spyro 1 never had the hover with it.
Yeah, right.
Never had the hover. And I understand that for consistency, for the sake of consistency. But please, I missed the hover.
I don't think they added
like
the face splat in the first Crash Bandicoot game either. That was a new ability that he had.
Yeah.
But
the loading screens are better than the Insane Trilogy.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
That was something I really appreciated, because you could actually move and do stuff in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so. I will say though, as far as I'm concerned, this is a bullshit thing in terms of like physical media. Bullshit on Activision, because not all the games are actually included on the disc. You have to download the rest of them. As far as I'm concerned, this is a digital game.
That's pretty much how, like, I swear to God, every single game is like that I purchased.
Well,
Granted,
like, literally, it's like, if you put the disc in the game, you cannot play Spyro 3 unless you download the rest of it. I'm not talking patches or anything like that. I mean, like, the actual full game is not on the disc.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what they did with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, if you remember that. The full game wasn't on there. When you put the disc in, it was already just training mode.
Yeah.
But yeah. But no, Spyro, it plays fantastically. All the levels look beautiful. The voice acting is well done. There's, like favorites here and there that can go through and everything like that. But it all plays so well. It's so fun. It's also very casual. Like, it's just a feel-good game. It's not very hard. It's just kind of run through it and have a good time. Unless you try to get the skill points, then this game turns into a monster. But it's not even hard to like get all the gems and rescue all the dragons or get all the dragon eggs or whatnot from the levels. That's not hard either.
No.
So.
All right, but before I get to my number one for both sides, I believe we have one more break to take. So I promise this is going to be the last break for this podcast. So make sure you tune back in. Hello again, everybody. So you heard from BJ. You heard from Esteban. Now it's time to hear from me. It's my time to shine. I'm joking. Everybody else can shine. And their shines are brighter than mine.
Sean, if you're gonna shine, you're gonna have to put more lighting on yourself.
Yeah.
I know. I've got to fix that.
I flooded my room with light.
Yeah, I need to get more. So for my number one, is actually both in movies and in video games. Because Spider-Man's had one hell of a year. And not, like I said, not just in movies, but in video games as well. So Spider-Man PS4 is my number one.
Nice.
It's been a while since.
Yeah, and I haven't played it yet, so daggone it.
It's been a while since not only has a story captivated me as much, like that, the story in Spider-Man made me feel things. It's been a long time since I teared up. in a video game story. And this one made me tear up. I was like, what the fuck is this? Not only that, but the gameplay is superb. It just feels good to just go through and do all this kind of other stuff. Yeah, some of the challenges were kind of iffy. Even then, they had 3 different DLCs, and I wanted to play those so bad. If it wasn't for that game, I'd probably sell my PlayStation because I barely play it anymore. But honestly, that game is excellent in my opinion. And as much as the other games that came out this year, the ones that won the big awards, God of War, Red Dead Redemption, Fortnite, whatever, as much as those games are good, this one is my favorite.
Yeah.
And nobody can take that from me. It's amazing.
I will take your word for it for now, because
And he walks off screen. Oh, so rude. Oh,
I haven't
man.
gotten to it yet.
Oh, he got it.
Christmas present.
And also the fact that they have taken this Spider-Man and have put him into the main Marvel comics. He's a part of the new Spider-Man event that they have going on.
Oh, okay.
They brought him in.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And actually one of the recurring gags that they have from the video game actually made it into the comic book as well. One of the running gags for it, I hope I don't spoil too much, but it's the fact that he goes on, and he has this persona that he jokes around with the commissioner about called Spider Cop. And turns out in the event, they find an alternate reality where there is a Spider-Man who is dressed like a cop, where he has a cop outfit and even a mustache over the top of his Spider-Man mask. And they brought him in. Like, at first it was a joke, but no. And can I spoil a little bit of the Into the Spider-Verse? Right.
Yeah.
Sure, I've seen
I
it.
don't mind.
All right.
Hang on. Let me do something for like a spoiler.
Here, I got it. I'll cover my face.
Spoiler. Right.
All right. Go about a minute ahead if you're listening to the audio version of this. But they have included the white suit, the white spider suit, which is my favorite Spider-Man suit, into the movie. They have included that in the movie itself as an Easter egg. It's things like that. It's the fact that that game has so much of an impact in like this day and age. I've never seen a video game have that big of an impact across all forms of media. So yeah, that's my number one game.
Is the spoiler alert thing done?
Spoiler's gone. Spoiler's gone. We're good.
I just finished the graphic.
Too late.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You know what? That's fine. I can keep that there for
Next time.
whenever we may need it again.
Awesome.
So, with that being said, that was one of the big games I played this year. Anyone that's seen my channel knows one of the other games I played a lot this year was PUBG. And I'm going back to PUBG and Call of Duty for this one. I kind of hate Fortnite now for the fact that it's done the season pass type of thing where you purchase it and you have to get special rewards for it, which makes sense. That's a free-to-play game. They brought that shit into paid games. And the fact that it's better than loot boxes. It is better than loot boxes. I will say that. And thank Christ that the year of the loot box has kind of died down a bit. They dialed it back, and I'm thankful for that. But now that they've brought in these different seasons in, and on Fortnite, it's okay because it's a free-to-play game. You don't pay for the Battle Royale mode. It's just there. But you can get some of these extra skins and everything if you get some of the extra
Give up some money. Yeah.
Yeah, and you work to earn it. Not terrible. The fact that they brought in these season passes into paid games. PUBG is $30. Call of Duty, $60. And not only does Call of Duty bring in
Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six does it too.
Rainbow Six. And for Call of Duty, it's for all 3 modes. For zombies, for Blackout, and for the regular multiplayer. And the fact that they have these seasons every so often. And it's not like you pay one fee, you get all the seasons. No. You have to pay for each season in order for you to get a chance, mind you, at their rewards.
Yeah.
Money!
The fact that they brought that in there, the fact that they have those type of systems in place, pisses me off to no end. I know it's all cosmetic, and I know that really should not matter. And I know DLC is probably worse. But I feel like this is going to be a big rabbit hole that people are going to be going down. And pretty soon you're going to have Assassin's Creed. The next Assassin's Creed is going to have a season system where you can get different perks if you assassinate in this sort of way, or you do all this kind of stuff in order to gate back content. And you know they're going to
already do that. It's called Uplay.
Well, yeah. Well, and it's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. It's going to come to the fact that, oh, you want this better gun that is statistically better that you can't get unless you buy the season pass, and you grind and you grind and you grind until you actually get that weapon.
Yeah.
You know, there are plenty of games out there, and I don't mind going in there and grinding to get a better weapon because it makes me get better at the game. But I shouldn't have to pay for the privilege to grind.
Yeah.
Destiny. Sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well,
actually, Assassin's Creed Odyssey also has just separate microtransactions. So, Assassin's Creed again?
Yeah, I think their microtransaction are like progression, though. I thought it was like if you pay for it, then there's stuff they just automatically unlock so that you don't have to.
Yeah, and then they give you like a boost, so like you gain more experience. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I think that's what their stuff is.
Yeah, that's better.
But yeah, that's me. Yeah. That's me on that. I love those games. I defended Call of Duty Black Ops 4 for the gameplay. And to this day, shoot me. But I will defend PUBG. I will defend that trashy game for as much.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
It's an abusive relationship.
PUBG
I know it has hurt me so many times.
I just can't. I can't.
But I will defend it. I will not defend these monetization systems. But I got Spider-Man this year, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Battle Royale is not a genre. It's a mode, and Call of Duty and Battlefield have proven it. Episode 2 of the Shaded Pixels podcast. bit.ly/Shaded Pixels.
We're calling back to all the episodes going on. We call back to
pretty much
Call of Duty versus Battlefield. We call back to the PlayStation 1 Classic. Mm-hmm. We call back.
Well, we're talking about 2018. That's what we
did. Yeah, we're doing 2018, so it makes sense. We're good. We're better than we thought we were.
We did 20 something episodes of the show. What is it? 26? That's 27. What we did in 2018.
It's awesome.
We did 26 episodes.
Yeah.
So you know
we are great.
Number 0. Because it's better than number 1. Yeah. Was the fact that the Shaded Pixels podcast came together.
You know what? I still have episode 0 saved.
It's
remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Noise.
I still have it. If we ever want to do something with that,
put it up on an off week or maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But But it was fun. It's been fun. We've had a lot of fun doing this. And we've had a lot of fun with you guys listening.
And it's too bad that it has to end. The cyanide pill should be kicking in any moment now, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Bring on the cyanide pill?
It tastes like almonds, doesn't it?
Sure.
Sure.
Whatever I gotta tell you to
take.
take.
Cyanide is in almonds. Oh, I got that the other way around.
Yeah.
And then he collapsed.
Crunch.
But like I said before, 2019 is going to be an amazing year. We have a lot of stuff planned. I hope
so. I hope there's a lot of stuff that we play that is better. Looking forward to seeing what Anthem's gonna be. Looking forward to see what Days Gone is gonna be. Looking forward to see what some of these sequels are gonna be. This should be a really big year for gaming. We should hear about some new consoles, I think, this year.
We might hear about them, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna hear. That's it.
2019. Yeah. Almost like we should do our next episode on that.
Yeah.
We're pretty smart. We are pretty smart there. Yeah.
It's interesting because actually, I don't think we know much about 2019 past like April or May.
Of course we do.
Like what?
Talking about we know about everything for the whole year because we're smart like that. Yes. We're smart like that, man. Jeez. Don't give up the goods.
Okay, fine. Leave me my SNES Classic alone.
That's right.
Which is now out of stock because Nintendo are assholes.
One of these days, we're gonna have that fuck Nintendo.
It's gonna happen.
Episode.
It's gonna happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to join us throughout our journey into 2019, follow us on Twitter at Shady Pixels.
Yes.
Follow us on Facebook, Shady Pixels Podcast.
Preach.
Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Shady Pixels Podcast.
Yes. Amen. Hallelujah.
Look us up on YouTube, bit.ly/Shady Pixels.
Yes.
As you know, this podcast goes live every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And you can always find the video going up Thursdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. But if you want that audio version to listen
7 a.m. Pacific, keep going. You said 10 a.m. twice. Okay, you know what?
Since I up in a moment.
So look, okay, fine, I ruined it. I'm sorry, but you're the one who screwed up. And also, why did it turn into a sermon?
It's the way I know.
BJ saying you want to go, hallelujah, preach.
Do it.
But if you guys want to hear that audio version, it is going to be uploaded Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. But that's not the only thing we're doing. We all got our own different things. BJ, what you working on?
I am hoping that I can put together a couple of good Geek Swag episodes. I've got I'm trying to play through God of War, so I need to do a review for it. I kind of need to do a comprehensive review of Battlefield. So I'm trying to work through that as well. And there was one more. There's another game somewhere sprinkled in there. I can't remember off the top of my head. So hopefully I'll be able to crank through those, and you'll be seeing those on either forallnerds.com or heedmag.com. So keep a lock to those websites, ladies and gentle worms.
All right. I'm chatting with Matthew McConaughey now. All right. What do you got for us, Esteban? I know you got a lot of stuff coming up.
Yes. Okay. Let me try to get through this very quickly. First off, you can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Colorwin. Also Facebook, I decided to bring that one back up. Not that I deleted it or anything, but I'm actually paying attention to it now. But in terms of content, okay, got a lot of new stuff coming up. My Gaming Landscape is now a video feature, and the very first one in video form went up today. And just go to youtube.com/HeyColorwin and check that out. It's basically a vlog of me rambling, but the next episode should be a little better because it'll be covering me playing these games and actually like capturing footage so I can actually show a little bit of what I'm talking about and actually be a little more polished. For me, being able to do that, though, I'm now moving my gaming landscape to being a monthly thing instead of a weekly, because there's no way I can do that every week. But yeah, it's going to be monthly. Quick like teaser for the next month one, so you can check it out. I have been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, so that'll be included to that. But you can check out the current one. Right now, it is 40 minutes long because I covered 2 months, and quite frankly, I had a very prosperous Christmas because I got a lot of games. Other than that, I'm going to be streaming. Right now, the plan is this coming Thursday. I'm going to be streaming Darksiders. I'm going to start my playthrough on that. It's going to be for the Backlog Purge, which is the new show that's going up. I haven't played through that game ever before, so we're going to knock it off of the backlog. You can start that Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific. I got Let's Plays going up on my YouTube channel as well. I got Bayonetta. That's finally going up. It's ready. It's going up. It's happening. And I got Spiral 1 HD playthrough on coming up as well. That would have been Colorwin Beats, but I'm changing the name of the show so that people can actually know what it is. So now Colorwin Beats is replaythroughs because I'm playing through games that I've played through before. I know, I'm so happy I came up with that name. It just popped into my head. So that'll be Mondays and Thursdays is for Spyro, Tuesdays and Fridays is for Bayonetta. Finally, check out my blog, heycolorwin.wordpress.com. I'm going to be having a lot of editorials going up there soon. I just put up my favorites of 2018 if you want to see not just my favorite games, but also favorite movies, shows, albums, and songs. If you ever need to catch anything that I'm doing, though, just make sure you go to Twitter at HeyColorwin. I will promote it or / update you all on that. And if there's one last thing I will tease is that I have a special project that I'm going to be working really hard on. Not just a review show that I've been teasing for like almost a year, but maybe another podcast.
Ooh. Nice.
And that's me.
All right. So, my stuff. Because trust me, if anyone has any experience about teasing review shows for over a year,
yeah.
Speaking of which, that's something I'm working on.
I'm still working on mine too, but still teasing it.
Yeah. Still working on it. It's going to be hopefully done by the end of this year. Or not end of this year, sorry, end of this month. So that's hopefully going to be a monthly thing. High Time for Prime Time is going to be the last Saturday of every month. Then How to Fix is going to be coming back. It's going to be the second Saturday of every month. And then in terms of gaming, I've got my experience share and gaming thoughts. They're going to share Mondays, going up every Monday. If I don't have an experience share, I'll have some gaming thoughts. If I don't have some thoughts, I'll share some experiences. I cannot talk today, guys. I am sorry. But I did bring in a new show. I used to do my Let's Play series. I kind of stopped doing that Let's Play series because I felt like it wasn't right for me. It felt like something I kind of forced myself into. And I don't want to do that. I want to experience new stuff. So with that glorious emulation machine that I have put together the Throwback Arcade, where I take a trip down memory lane through the magical means of emulation. And that goes up every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. I have one episode, an extra episode to kind of test out the waters on that. I have one episode already up, and then the episode on Wednesday, or tomorrow, if you're listening to this live, That should already be up. It's a fun one for people watching, not for me. It was probably the worst game I've ever played in my entire life, and I played The Legend of Korra on PS4. So, but for anything, any of my projects, anything that I have going up, you can always check me out online on Twitter. I am at Little Big Ham. It's twitch.tv/LittleBigHam. If I can ever stream, my internet connection will probably never allow me to do so. But if I ever do, that is where you'll find me. And then you can also find me on Facebook at Jonathan Studios, and that you can also find me on YouTube. Its channel is Jonathan Studios as well. But gentlemen, that is it for the 27th episode of the Shaded Pixels podcast. And thank you everyone for joining us in this experience. I look forward to 2019. I know everybody else looks forward to it. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you next time.